Okay, so we've been spending this week making armor in Terry Inglis's shop. And as you know, because it's a one-day build, I prepped and got myself into the right headspace by making my own Excalibur sword. What you don't know is that I brought my Excalibur sword with me to England for the sole purpose of showing it to Terry and getting his feedback on it. So I'm about to go into the shop and reveal to Terry that I have my own Excalibur and see what he has to tell me about my movie prop sword making skills. Okay, Terry, in preparation for coming and making a suit of Excalibur armor, I kind of got obsessed and I went ahead and made my own Excalibur sword.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I learned how to grind some swords. So I made a movie sword. I made it out of aluminum. So let me show it to you, and I want your honest critique. Here
Okay,
you go.
let me... if I pull this out of here, does it make me King Arthur? Oh, wow. You made this?
I did.
Wow. Well, I must say, Adam, I'm impressed. It's not right, but I'm impressed. It's actually, the proportions are way too small.
Really?
Yeah. But wow, you know, I'll give you 8 out of 10 for it.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I've just made one for a client.
Oh, really?
Which is pretty close to the original as can get.
So we could compare.
Yeah. So if you want to just perhaps hold that one.
All right.
I'll just if I can find a bit that undoes it. That's the hilt.
Oh.
Which is that's the blade.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow, I see, yes.
It is considerably larger.
Look at the difference. Oh, look at that wrap.
Well, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Yeah? Holy cow. Yeah, I noticed that afterwards that I totally had missed that detail. But the blade is much fatter.
Yeah. And the pommel you got pretty good. Not a bit large, but...
May I hold this one?
Of course.
Oh, is this steel?
No, it's aluminum. Wow. We say aluminium.
Aluminium. Oh my gosh, this feels so good.
Do you know, the very first blade I held, I was in London with John Borman, just discussing the armours and stuff. And he showed me the Excalibur blade, and it was made of plexi, like a blue plexi.
Really?
Plastic, yeah. And it's the one that when you first see it at the round table, you don't really register it. But when King Arthur gets Excalibur out and holds it up, it's actually plastic.
Oh,
it's
wow.
It's made of plexiglass.
Is it for some effect they did on the film?
I don't know. It was because it was something to do with the blue light. And it didn't really register as much as I thought it would have done. But yeah, the original blade was made in plexiglass, like a blue plexiglass.
Wow. Oh, it feels so good. So yeah, clearly my proportions are way off.
Yeah, a little bit too slim and thin and a bit weak. Excalibur, isn't it? Yeah. But no, it's doing it from not knowing the original. I think you've done very well, really do.
Thank you.
You can put the ferrules on it, and I'll show you how to do the grip, so you can redo that.
Yeah, I was working off.
You're almost there.
I was working off some pictures, and I did these as two opposing windings, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I can see when I look at other sword reference that I didn't get nearly tight enough with this.
Right. The original wire, actually, was the original swords were made by Wilkinson. I think there were 6 of them that were made. And the original grips were made from what they call regulation wire, which is the wire they use on all the household cavalry swords.
Oh, really?
And it's very hard to get a hold of. Yeah, it's kind of...
Is it silver or is it...
It's silver, yeah. Mm.
And it's a specific gauge and...
Yeah, it's a kind of a twisted wire, but then it has another twist around it. It's a bit hard to explain it, but it's very smooth and fine.
Now, what did you do for the winding here? This looks almost like it's braided.
Yeah, it's actually just twisted wire, but you twist it in opposite directions.
Oh, it's okay.
And then when you put them together, it almost comes out like a sort of a plait effect.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a braid, but it's. I see it's...
Yeah, it's just two separate wires twisted in opposite directions.
Wow.
Anti-clockwise and clockwise. Then you put them together, it becomes like a plait.
It's such a lovely piece.
Yeah.
This is the geekiest version ever done of I'll show you mine.
No, it's not.
You show me yours.
Well done, mate. Honestly, it's lovely. It's great.
Thank you for showing me the real thing. That's fantastic. All right, well, my measurements were off all over the place, but Terry gave me an 8 out of 10 for Excalibur, and that's not bad. Of course, I may end up feeling like I need to make another one of these, and that certainly could happen. But now it's time to talk about shaping, because while I've gotten a real amazing download, the fact is I did some shaping before I even left the US. Terry asked me to do some of the work on the gauntlets before I arrived. That is to make all the tiny little plates for all the fingers, some 60 some odd plates, which I made, bent, polished, and attached to leather all in San Francisco. Here's a little bit about how it went down. So first things first, Terry English has asked me to show up in England with some parts already pre-built, specifically the fingers of the gauntlets. These gauntlets for this suit of armor will be made of multiple small plates, roughly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 per finger, which means across 10 fingers I need to make 60 separate little aluminum plates which will get riveted to strips of leather. This is a lot of busy work. I'm leaving for London tomorrow, so I've got to complete it today. He's also asked me to show up with a bunch of the buckles, and I'm going to prep the leather for those as well. And to begin, I have a drawing of exactly what I need to build and how to lay it out. A drawing by Terry English that includes a little cartoon dude in armor and a note that says, "Good luck, Adam." Honestly, I'm beside myself just seeing that he wrote my name and made this beautiful little drawing. I'm going to hope to do him justice by making a bunch of beautiful finger plates. So I've got to make roughly 60 finger plates for all the fingers. I'm going to make a bunch of extras because it never hurts to have extras. But whenever you're doing a repetitive production like this, it's really important to find whatever efficiencies you can. Because let's say I just took a single piece of aluminum like this and cut out a finger, shaped it, drilled a hole, and then polished it. Let's say that took me 5 minutes to do that. Times 60 finger plates, that's 5 hours of work. Wait, is that correct? Yes, 60, yeah, that's correct. That's 5 hours of work for 60 plates. I think I can do it in less than 2 hours by gaining efficiencies, by cutting out the fingers as strips, polishing those strips together, then ganging them up and cutting them out in large chunks. That'll also get me much more accurate finger plates. They'll be accurate to each other, and thus I won't have to adjust so much for their fitting on the leather strips. The way to think through this is that every single separate operation you do is going to suck up tons of time. And again, times 60, if something takes me 30 seconds, it's going to take me 30 minutes to complete it. I've had commercial jobs that I did years ago with Jamie where we had something like 105 details on this piece, and just to slightly modify them to the art director's requirement took 2 days of someone's labor. This is mission critical kind of stuff. So finding efficiencies is what this build is all about. 5, 9. All right. This one. All right. This is going to be my piece of aluminum. I am using this because it already has a bit of a polish on it. I'm going to increase that polish on this unbroken sheet first. That is the very beginning of this. Here we go. Now, I'm using a brown rouge for this first pass, and this will be totally sufficient for the kind of shine that I need. Remember that when you're polishing with a rouge, it's the rouge that does the polishing, not the actual polishing wheel. So you got to make sure you keep loading your polishing wheel with the rouge, and you'll see that awesome mirror finish I got for very little effort on this piece. Ah, that is awesome! I'm going to try and do most of this sheet so that I can then cut it out into strips and start heavy production on my finger plates. Cool. So I'm following Terry's drawing here for the actual width of these, and now I'm going to cut out some strips on my table saw. All right, my strips are cut out. I have way more material than I think I'm going to need, but in order to make sure these are all polished and I don't have to waste a lot of time polishing them later, I'm going to run a last bit of aluminum polish on top of them. A little goes a long way, but as it begins to do its polishing, it brings up material and turns dark and turns your fingers really dark. I use this for polishing some of my sword blades and stuff. Oh, beauty! That's the kind of shine we're looking for. Awesome. How many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These each to be for 8, 14 of these. Let's see if I can hold on to 14 of these. And the answer is yes. Oh, yes, good. Okay. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, wait. So that is 10, 22, 27. Okay. So you see what I'm doing here. I am ganging up 14 finger sections at a time, and I'm going to be manipulating them all in groups of 14. So I only need to do, I need 27 for each hand, let's say 30 for each hand, so 60 total. I have a total of 84 here. Actually, if I go with 5 of these, I have 70. More than enough. This is my backup then, and I am next going to start making sure these are all really square. That's going to be my pattern. I'm going to cut that, and that will be the pattern against which I make the curve on all the other finger sections. I'd like to point out that this was cold room temperature water when I started, so it was probably about 68 degrees. It's now, it's hot bath water. It's like 105 degrees just from dipping in the aluminum after sanding. So all the curves of the finger joints are done. I am now going to buff them just a little bit on my 3M wheel. Time to drill some holes. All right, all the holes are drilled. All the finger chunks are shaped. Now it's time to cut them all out. Yeah, cut it out. Time to cut them out. I need to make some clearer marks on a few of these. Those are the fingertips. Whew, that right there is a lot of busy work. These are a little bit close, but they could still work. All right, so each of these matches my pattern, close enough. I'm very excited about that. Oh, I know what you were wondering about. You're looking at this and realizing perhaps that the fingers of a gauntlet are curved. In fact, Mr. Terry English has spec'd that there's a curve, and I've made these all flat. What are we gonna do? I've already thought about it. And actually, I built a jig. Check this out. This is the Adam Savage finger curling jig. Allow me to demonstrate. I will place each finger plate right there, and I'll bring this down. And there is the gentle curve I was looking for every single finger. Boom! One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. That is 10 fingers worth of finger plates, plus about 8 extras, plus 3 extra fingertips. These I drilled too close to the edge, which is fine. If I really have to have these, I can, but I think I'm well covered, so I don't think I have to bend those. So now, it's time to cut the leather strips. And because I don't know how Terry is going to construct this glove, I'm going to make them longer than necessary in order to accommodate extra length. I'm going to make them longer to accommodate extra length. Stop the presses. Shit's getting smart over here. I'm just going to include some extra leather in case we need it. That's all I was trying to say. Pinky, pinky, ring. So now it's time to rivet the plates to the leather, and then we're done. I'm gonna bring over my anvil for that part. There we go. That right there, that's a thumb. That looks legit to me. Look at that. Dude, I am totally psyched. Oh, right. There's this other question that's been bouncing around in your head probably, which is, why is he making armor? out of aluminum? And the answer is, just in the same way that I made my Strider sword out of aluminum with Peter Lyon at Weta Workshop, I'm interested in the movie version of the thing that I covet. And I want Arthur's armor from Excalibur. The stuff I saw, not real armor. I want the movie armor. I want it lightweight. I want it built for me. Yeah, so these fingers are made of aluminum. There we go. That is the last pinky. We have 1, 2, 2. That's it. 2 full hands worth of finger plates plus extra leather and extra plates in case I screwed something significant up. I'm going to pack this up and take it with me to England. So now it's time to see if my work meets with Terry's approval.
Yeah, I understand the fingers have arrived that you've made. I can't wait to see them. Is that the long one?
It should say on the back.
Oh, okay.
It should say that's a ring finger.
Ring finger. That'll be that one. Yeah, that one. Okay, just try on your hand.
Okay.
Okay. So that's going to be set. Just slightly bend your knuckles. It's going to be there.
I left a long tail because I didn't know.
Well, look at that. Okay, it works.
It works? Good.
Yeah, cool.
I figured the edges are a little sharp, so I'll hit them on your polishing wheel.
Okay. Yeah, just do those just on the edges on the wire brush. Ideally, they should be more larms in them, really. But they're good. You know, they're actually what they were like on the film.
Oh, okay.
The original gauntlets, they would have had twice as many as ours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. So they didn't step out so much when you bend. When you got more larms, you don't get such a bigger gap.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Unless you want to remake them, it's up to you. These are kind of screen accurate. Is obviously where you got them from. But yeah, they kind of work.
And then when this is all done, there's a strap that goes here. Do these glue to the glove?
Yeah, these are actually riveted to this.
Okay.
To here, and then you've got a strap that goes just underneath here, and these are actually stuck. Originally they were stitched to the glove.
Right.
Modern day glues, we just stick them. Unless you want to sew them yourself.
Well, I figure we stick them, and then if I feel like throwing a stitch in there, I can.
Okay. They're cool. Well done.
Awesome. Okay. So is that the next thing for me to start working on?
Never cease to amaze me, Adam.
Oh, jeez, sir.
That's cool. Great.
Lovely.
Right. Just try the glove on a minute. Leave it on. Just clench your fist slightly.
What's that?
Just slightly clench it. Oh, they feel good.
Feels good. Fist bump.
Yeah, very good.